down low, down deep, ready for anything. Rolling around town, swerving in the suburban thing. With brain, so under the wheel, quarterback my producer, Sean spin on these, rolling on blunts, I'm in the shake.
Are you ready for this?
It's time for us to tap in third eye open like the river. I be running thoughts glowing, popping up with idea. Yes, yes, you can tell a friend that I'm smitten. I'm the Mr. 007. I'm not here to preach the gospel, but I goes in like the reverend. Shoes off when I walk in and keep it chillin' peaceful. I'm the neurotoxins fighting off the disease. Cool and collected, well respected. Save the drama for your mama. Speak your mind, hit the lip, kick you chew. Every person in the building come up and tell me what you think. I retired from the streets, now pushing content and chill beats. Gotta keep your head up even when you feel defeats.
Welcome to the lighthouse. Storm all around. I'm standing right now, sent from the cloud. They talking mine now, but I'm just fighting for my blood and my life. Yeah. Sent from the heaven, king on seven, trials on trials, still count blessings. Wait on the revelating, heart in heaven. I stay patient, I'm beyond the angels. I am mad, I bleed, I'm tangled. Sword on my back, axe on the strap. Go with the weight of the world in my lap. Touching my kin, we doubling back. Pray with my palm, but I'm ready for that. Long Star County King in that greatness. Stand tall, whole county on the wait list. I just want my ego, you can keep your Grammy. Built this from the gravel for my whole family. PG is great and the DMV ain't faking. If I said I'm the one, no, I wasn't mistaken. Long Star County King, yeah, we blazing. Welcome to the Lighthouse Foundation. Still waiting on revelation. Till then I'm in rotation. Heard of my chases, but I'm chasing. Turn my scars into statements. I don't need your stage or camera. I need these papers, hand and hammers. Still in my spine, still in my hands. Guarding my bloodline, holding this land. They can test, they can try, they can hate me. I've been forging a fire that will make me PG raised. Lone Star in my vein. DMV on the map, say the name. Lone Star County Kings, that's greatness. Stand tall, whole county on the wait list. I just want my acres, you can keep your Grammy. Built this from the gravel for my whole family. PG is greatness, DMV ain't faking. If I said I'm the one, no, I wasn't mistaken. Don't talk County King, yeah, we blazing. Welcome to the Lighthouse Foundation.
This show will begin in about the next 5 minutes or so. We're going to go ahead and rock out to these tunes, and then we're going to get the show started. I appreciate any and everybody for tuning in to another episode of Smitty's Corner Live, a.k.a. Lighthouse _301. The time right now is 7:03 p.m. East Coast Standard Time on this beautiful Monday. Let's go ahead and rock out. Respect to the family.
I'm a fallen angel from sky. Up above, I'm that man that think is a thug. I'm your drug and your plug. Wings tucked, I seen pain, seen blessings, seen luck. Ran over by train, that's about 8 trucks. Smitty really gritty, but never I'm no slut to the money and fame. You can keep your chain, we free men over here. And in case you didn't know, my favorite color is here. Yes, I'm here, not fresh to death, no stress, no worries. All burdens, I done buried closed coffin. I'm the beauty of the beast, and a man I found often. I'm the cure to infection, my reflection is broken down in sections. Retired chef outside, still cooking. I be rocking with best. Thank you, good looking. Y'all must be lunching on mothers. If you not from my section, then you cool, but not a brother. Lone Star, the astronaut from above. You looking for a fix? I'm your brand new blood. Shotgun slug, flood of the love spreads. Truck by train, made it out by thread. Should've be dead, but rose from darkness and a walking with an oath. I'm not the goat, I'm shepherd. Blending into the world tree, hiding a leaper. Mr. 7, I'm ghost in flesh.
Behold the pale white horse and in the dark night rider. Elevation, meditation, angels floating right beside you. The Messiah passed away at 33 like the degrees in Freemason alchemist. Cooking chemistry, I rose from the ocean sparkling. Water magic potion. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear? Demons lurking, but it's no fear protection. Vision clear, the birth of the baby with powers in his tears. And if you vultures really want me, then I'm still right here. As I land in spacecraft, water walking warlock, jet propelled aircraft, Operation Star Fox. I remember sitting with my thoughts with the CD while we hotbox, smoking on some crunchy 37, call it pop rocks. We still here and won't stop until I'm at the top or until my body rocks. I'm ghost.
Let's go ahead and get this going. All right, now, respect. Welcome back to another episode. So, what it is I want to talk about today before we get started, right? I need to make sure I check in with you guys. So, how's the day been? How's your headspace? And how has this day been treating you, most importantly? Now, if you're in the building, I just want to give you a big round of applause. All right, now, so let's go ahead and let's talk about a few things. So, I noticed that there's a lot of beef going on. It's a whole lot of war in the streets. We have it here on the YouTube, and we also have it in real life. We have it on the news. We're going to war with all these different countries as far as me being an American, right? All right, there we go. So we're having all these wars, and all of these different major events are going on. Now, is this something that is in any form of fashion new? No. We all know that war is age old. What I would like to do for this evening is I would like to dive in deeper and just learn a little bit more about why is it that we have war? What is it inside of us that makes us want to go to war? All right, now. So let's go ahead and let's start it off, right? Much respect to the family. Okay, now, the time now is 7:08 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. Let's get it. So what I'm curious about is this, just to start it off before we get to the little clips that I have, right? Okay, now, what historical factors and culture has driven men to go to war? What exactly does that look like, right? Because that's something that I'm curious about. And the conclusion that I came to is long-lasting, perversion of our natural nature. Just point blank, period. War, like the overall outcome of when we be beefing, when we fight, when we war, it's the perversion of it. But it's something about that perversion that we just have a fascination to go to. You smell me now? There's something very different in that. Then we have what historical factors and cultures have driven men to be going to war, right? And so the conclusion that I've come to in a brief sense is we are not far removed. We are not far from removed from the, let's say, our animal counterparts. We're a lot more in nature than what we want to believe. As sophisticated and scientifical and spiritual as we can be, we are still very much so incorporated into nature. All right. So now let's go ahead and get into it. I got some videos that I want to pull up, right? So let's go ahead and let's take this time and let's look at what we got right here. So I'm gonna slide this to y'all real quick. Because you know something, I mean, I have the questions nobody else wants to ask. And I have the will to want to seek for the answers that no one wants to look for. Well, not no one, but majority of us. So let's just start off here. All right, let's just start it off right here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull this up. Let's see what we got right here. Y'all give me 1 second. I appreciate you. All right, now. So, boom. Hold on. Let's do. Boom. I had to say, okay, there we go. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Somehow or another, I kicked myself out of my own studio. All right. Talk about some shit Smitty would do. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and let's do this right here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this right here. We're going to go to history. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull up this right here. Okay. Now, let me do this. Bow. StreamYard. What the? Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Did I just end my live? Did I just end my live? I still hear my music. I don't understand. Hold on. Let me see something here. How in the world just do this, bro? Let me see something now. So how do I do this stupid shit? Hold on. All right, there we go. Now I got to. There we go. Okay. I gotta add to stage. Mic check 1 2. Okay, all right. So now we're back on course. I couldn't figure out why it was acting like that. All right, so here we go. Now let's go ahead and look at this video. All right, my bad, y'all. I don't know why I just had a hard time for a quick second. I don't know what that was.
Unbelievably crazy, and I want to share it with you. It happened while I was reading this book. It's a history book written by a great historian, Will Durant. In chapter 11 of the book, I found this mind-disturbing statement. In the last 3,421 years of recorded history, only 268 years have seen no war. The author then explained that war between nations and individuals is as natural to human nature as swimming is for a fish. But why do we love to destroy one another? The book explains the obvious. Humans love to take what belongs to other humans. We are greedy, selfish, and quarrelsome. How then do you live a meaningful life in this cruel world? Don't be weak. Get some power. Fight for some independence, especially financial independence, because as long as you depend so much on other people, they can treat you anyhow they want. Unbelievably crazy, and I want to share it with you. It happened while I was reading this book. It's a history book written by a great historian, Will Durant.
All right. That's the start. Let's go ahead and go to this right here. Okay. So when we're talking about war, when we're talking about the dynamics in which, why do men, like, what is it about humans? We love to fight. Let's listen a little bit more, then we're going to go ahead and get into some questions I got for ChatGPT, and we're going to see how we go from there. Let's rock out.
And when I talk to people like you or many of the other guys that I've talked to that have served and been involved in combat, one of the craziest aspects of it is many want to be back there. Many experience that life tuned up to 11, and they recall it like it's the best time of their life.
There's no doubt about it. Best time of my life. No
That's
doubt about
crazy.
Now, I want us to really pay attention to what this guy says in a nutshell briefly. Then we're going to go ahead and move it on. But let's just listen.
No doubt about it. Feeling that pressure, knowing what was at stake. And again, from me in a leadership position, you know, everyone feels a little bit different. From me in a leadership position, you're not worried about yourself getting hurt or killed. You're worried about your guys getting hurt or killed. And that's the most important thing, and the thing that's keeping you awake at night, and the thing that's driving you.
And when I talk to people like you or many of the other guys that I've talked.
Okay. And so now let's go ahead. We're going to hit this right here. Boom. Let's hit that history. All right. Bye-bye. Now let's just go right here. And let's listen, because this is the main part that I really kind of want to get to. Then I'm going to get to the scientific aspects of it. So before we actually do this video, what I would like to do is I'm going to take a test run on something, okay? So my question that I have is, why do men go to war? So we're going to start with the historical biblical sense, okay? So let's listen. We're going to ask AI, why do men go to war? From a Bible standpoint, then we're going to go to the Quran. We're going to see, are there any differences or are there any similarities? Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the scientific reason and the historical reason through research as to why men go to war. Okay, so here we go. Let's get it. Why do men say it's okay in the Bible, biblically, to go to war?
That's a really complex question, and it often depends on how different passages are interpreted. In the Bible, war is sometimes seen as a way God uses to bring about justice or protect a people, like with the Israelites in the Old Testament. But it's also balanced by a lot of calls for peace, mercy, and trusting in God's plan. So historically, some have used those texts to justify war, but others stress peace as the ultimate biblical calling.
Okay. And can you tell me, what does the Quran say about going to war?
Of course, the Quran addresses war in a very measured way. It permits fighting in self-defense or to protect religious freedom, but it explicitly forbids aggression, harming civilians, or destroying crops and homes. The Quran repeatedly emphasizes that peace is preferable, and if the enemy inclines to peace, Muslims are urged to do the same. So war is seen as a last resort, bound with ethics and conditions.
Historically, why do men go to war?
Yeah, historically it's been a mix of factors. Sometimes it was about survival, defending a community or a nation. Other times it was about resources like land or wealth, or even political. Exactly. And alongside those, there were often ideological or religious motivations, like expanding an empire or defending a faith. And of course, sometimes it was a mix of all these elements together.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you ever want to dig into any of those angles more or look at specific historical examples, just let me know.
Okay. So now that we've went on, I said thank you. I said thank you. Okay. All right. Sorry, y'all. You know, it ain't just us. AI gets real chitter chattery too. All right now. So let's go ahead and let's look at this because I've been curious. Like these are the things that I wonder about life. Why do we go to war? What is it about it that drives us to want to fight and conquer? What is that? What is the innate response to that? Let's go. Let's see what we got. Boom. Let's rock out.
Ever noticed how quickly people choose sides, even in arguments that have nothing to do with them? You've already seen the psychology of war in its smallest form. It happens in comment sections, in family group chats, in offices. Two people disagree, and suddenly everyone feels this subtle pull to align, defend, attack, or withdraw.
Just a quick question. Do we not see that in these spaces? Don't we see that? Don't we see the exact same thing that takes place online right now as we speak? People take sides. I'm on this person's team because of this. I'm on this person's team because of that. But yet, you know, most of us never even met each other in person. But I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But let's go ahead and get back to it. Let's see what we got. Why do we war?
The body tightens, the voice sharpens, the language shifts from I think to you always. It doesn't look like a battlefield, but psychologically, it's the same pattern. War doesn't begin with weapons, it begins with identity. At the surface level, war looks like conflict over land, power, religion, or resources. That's the visible behavior. Groups fight, leaders declare, borders are drawn and defended. But underneath that behavior is something quieter and more human, the need to protect the self. And
let me let this last part. Let me just let this finish playing out real quick. This little piece right here before I respond. Hold on.
when humans say self, they rarely mean just the individual. They mean their tribe, their belief system, their history, their version of reality. The hidden meaning behind war isn't always aggression. Often it's perceived threat. When a group feels its identity is being erased, disrespected, or replaced, the nervous system reacts the same way it does to physical danger.
Now, this is my thing, right? The only reason why I could see some form of valid reason for actually going to war is because of natural resources. Now, let's just say you and your people happen to be on a land that has such a rich, valuable abundance of a particular resource that is needed throughout the world. Yes, you probably just might get attacked, right? So I recognize that. Outside of that, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what reason do men go to war, because last time I checked, we can look it up, and I believe that every single person on the entire planet, not America, the entire planet, can fit into the state of Texas. Just Texas alone. Will it be tight and cramped? Yeah, of course it would. But can we all fit? Yes, currently. So with that being said, and me knowing this, that means that there is an endless, vast amount of land that is habitable. And for some strange reason, we find a way to war with each other. And I've always tried to figure that part out. Let's go ahead and look at it a little bit deeper. Let's keep on listening.
The body doesn't differentiate well between their invading our land and their challenging who we are. Both register as survival risks, and survival changes people. That's when small differences become intolerable. That's when compromise starts to feel like betrayal.
And that sounds a lot like what it is I just spoke about when it comes to the aspect of survival, when it comes to natural resources. I'm talking about something needed, not wanted. Like, for example, gold. I would say for the most part, gold is something people want. All right. If you have a nice vast land that consists of like certain grains and rices and the body of water where you can fish, you have copper, things of that nature, and certain precious metals that can be used for casting and molding, that will make you definitely a target for folks to want to have war with you. Should they do it? That depends on the diplomacy. But let's keep on going.
Because once identity is fused with belief, disagreement feels like attack. And this isn't just about nations. You see it in relationships. One partner criticizes the other's habit, and it spirals into something bigger. You don't respect me. You never listen. The argument stops being about dishes or money. It becomes about dignity, about worth. The deeper pattern is this: humans don't just fight to win, they fight to exist. When someone feels unseen,
And fighting to exist about, if there's more than enough of everything, of plentiful resources, there is more than enough meat to go around when it comes to cattle, right, and livestock, wildlife. There's more than enough vegetation. I mean, probably triple what cattle and livestock is. There's more than enough clean drinking water. It's just about if we want to go get it. Of course, you don't get it from the ocean. That'll kill you faster than it'll heal you. But we recognize, right, that there is an endless abundance of everything that is natural. And so that's why I've always been one of those people to wonder, then why do we fight over what is of abundance to us all? Let's keep on rocking out.
Missed or powerless for long enough, conflict becomes a way to reclaim significance. War at a collective level can feel like a declaration: we matter. And that's where it gets uncomfortable. Because if war is partly about meaning, then it's not driven only by evil or greed. Sometimes it's driven by humiliation, by long-standing resentments, by stories passed down for generations about who hurt whom. Children inherit those stories. They grow up inside narratives of us and them. Over time, those narratives harden into identity, and identity is one of the strongest psychological forces we have. Once you identify deeply with a group, your brain starts filtering reality in its
tribal mindset.
favor. Information that supports your side feels true. Information that threatens it feels dangerous. This isn't stupidity, it's cognitive protection. Belonging keeps humans alive, so the mind protects belonging at all costs. And here's where it gets interesting. The real driver of war often isn't hatred, it's fear. Hatred is loud, fear is quiet. Fear.
I have my thoughts about that one. Because the one thing that I do know is that when it comes to fear, okay, so like fear is something that drives like a lot of us. Like if you think about it, they don't use motivation to get you hyped up for war. They use the fear tactic. They let you know, like, if we don't guard these walls and this border, they're going to come through and pillage your wife, your children, your everything, your livestock. Like, they will decimate everything. We are the front line. We must protect this. And they say it in the sense of because violence will be inflicted upon thee if we do not. And that is what I've recognized. But, okay. Now, mind you, when you say that to somebody, what's the first thing that comes into their mind outside of maybe a sense of drive? It's going to be fear. That fear, the drive is driven based upon the fear. That fear that the person thinks of what will happen, that vision that you just put in their head of livestock, cattle done, family, everything else, they're going to burn down the village and everything else. That's what drives you, is the fear. So I would say that fear is a big part. Just like if we go back in a day to a certain president we have, is he was a junior as well. And he kept saying war on terror, weapons of mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction. Why did he keep saying that? Did he say that to drive the American people, or was it said to instill fear into the people? Do you see where we are? So fear definitely drives a certain form of motivation, but let's keep on rocking out.
Fear of losing status, fear of being dominated, fear of disappearing, fear that if we don't strike first, we'll be erased. When fear isn't acknowledged, it transforms, it hardens, it turns into aggression, because aggression feels powerful, it feels proactive, it masks vulnerability. On a personal level, you can see this transformation all the time. Someone who feels insecure becomes controlling. Someone who feels rejected becomes cold. Someone who feels powerless becomes rigid. Zoom out, and groups do the same thing. Nations that feel cornered escalate. Communities that feel marginalized radicalize. Leaders who feel threatened overcompensate. It's not about confidence, it's about control. Control reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is one of the most uncomfortable.
The uncertainty. What is the main emotion? Even look at the emotional face on this character. Does that not look fearful? And that is the main point in which it is that I was trying to basically extend to. So let's keep on rocking out. Let's see what we got.
States for the human brain. During social or political instability, people gravitate towards strong narratives, even extreme ones, because certainty feels safer than ambiguity. War provides clarity. It creates a clear enemy, a clear mission, a clear story. In times of confusion, that clarity can feel stabilizing. That's part of the psychological pull. There's also something else we don't often talk about: cohesion. External conflict increases internal unity. When there's an enemy, differences within the group temporarily fade. People bond faster. Loyalty intensifies. Sacrifice becomes meaningful. On an evolutionary level, that bond was adaptive. Groups that united against threats survived, so the brain still responds to conflict as a unifier. But what protects a group can also trap it, because once unity is built around opposition, peace can feel destabilizing. Without an enemy, old internal fractures resurface. Tensions that were suppressed during conflict come back into view. So sometimes, unconsciously, conflict continues because it holds the group together.
Now, how do we feel about that? Now, do you believe that that is the form of misery loves company? In the form of, I feel infuriated about something and I want you to feel the same way about it with me. Now, there's also the concept of when you're in a tribe and when you're in a certain group, your problems are my problems. So we can go either way. Let's keep on rocking out. Respect to the family. The time right now is 7:32 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. Let's go and get back to it.
That doesn't make war noble. It makes it psychologically complex. And then there's the role of humiliation. Research into long-term conflicts often points to collective humiliation. Moments in history where a group felt shamed, defeated, or disrespected. Humiliation is different from loss. Loss hurts. Humiliation injures identity. When identity is injured, time alone doesn't heal it. The story has to be rewritten. Dignity has to be restored. War can become an attempt at restoration.
So war becomes an attempt at restoration, as in I'm trying to restore something. So yes, I may have to defend myself. Now the thing about it is, the only time I would say war is justifiable is when one is defending, as in I'm trying to restore. I'm trying to either keep going or restore. Let's keep rocking out.
But restoration through domination often recreates the same wound on the other side, and so the cycle continues. What makes this pattern so persistent is that each side experiences itself as defensive. Rarely does a group see itself as the aggressor. In their narrative, they are protecting, reclaiming, responding. That's a powerful psychological blind spot, because once you're convinced you're defending your existence, almost any action can feel justified. And yet, at the core, the mechanisms are deeply human. Fear, belonging, pride, shame, identity, survival.
Now, think about all of those characteristics that was just named. All right, so let's go through it. Okay, so we have all of these characteristics: the shame, the prideful, right? And all of this, the other ones he named, I can't remember all of them. But every last one that he named has a lot to do with the ego, as an ego, edging God out. Now you're trying to take something on yourself. And then that's when we get blindsided. You see? So we have to remember that whenever it is that you are operating in the mode of ego, that is when things start to really flip for you. And then you start trying to wonder, why is this happening? Why is that happening? But to the war aspect of it, that's why people also do it, because of the insecurities within oneself. Let's keep on rocking out.
Same forces that cause a person to shut down in an argument or lash out when criticized are magnified at scale. It doesn't mean all conflicts are avoidable. Humans compete for resources. Power structures exist. Political decisions have real consequences. But psychologically, the intensity of war often exceeds the surface issue. It taps into something older than politics, something rooted in the nervous system and the need to matter. When you look at history through that lens, patterns start to repeat. Economic instability, identity threat, charismatic leaders offering certainty, narratives that simplify complexity into good versus evil. Once you see that pattern, you start noticing it everywhere, not just in wars, but in culture wars, ideological battles, even online debates. The structure is the same. Behavior, attack, defend, polarize. Hidden meaning, protect identity.
Yes, basically. But see, the thing is, I want us to think about, why are you trying to protect an identity that really wasn't under threat unless you felt like it was subconsciously within your inner self? Did you feel like you were being attacked? Did anybody say that they are attacking you? Because a lot of time we can do something called project. And we are projecting our inner thoughts out to the rest of the people. So let's go ahead and keep on rocking out. The time right now is 7:36 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in on this beautiful Sunday evening, with the degrees being 65 Fahrenheit on the East Coast side of America. Let's rock out.
Deeper pattern, fear of erasure, identity impact. If we lose this fight, we lose who we are. And that's the part most people don't consciously realize. They think they're fighting over territory, policy, history, but underneath, they're fighting over psychological survival. That doesn't excuse destruction, it explains intensity. And explanation matters, because when something feels mysterious, it feels uncontrollable. When it becomes a pattern, it becomes understandable. War was never just about weapons. It was about humans trying to secure safety, dignity, and belonging in a world that constantly threatens all three. Once you see it that way, you can't unsee it. Every conflict, large or small, starts to reveal its emotional roots.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. I have to run to the restroom, so y'all going to have to give me a quick second. Let's go ahead and chill out to some tunes real quick, and I'll be right back with you after this quick commercial message. Respect to the family.
Welcome to the lighthouse.
Storm all around. I'm standing right now, sent from the cloud. They talking mine now, but I'm just fighting for my blood and my life. Yeah.
Sent from the heaven, king on seven, trials on trials, still count blessings. Wait on the revelating, heart in heaven. I stay patient, I'm beyond the angels. I am mad, I bleed, I'm tangled. Soul on my back, axe on the strap. Go with the weight of the word in my lap. Touching my king, we doubling back. Pray with my palm, but I'm ready for that. Long South County king in that greatness. Stand tall, whole county on the wait list. I just want my ego, you can keep your Grammy. Build this from the gravel for my whole family. PG is great and the DMV ain't faking. If I said I'm the one, no, I wasn't mistaken. Long South County king, yeah, we blazing. Welcome to the Lighthouse Foundation. Still waiting on revelation. Till then I'm in rotation. Heard of my chases, but I'm chasing. Turn my scars into statements. I don't need your stage and camera. I need these papers, hand and hammer. Still in my spine, still in my hands. Guarding my blood, I'm holding this land. They can test, they can try, they can hate me. I've been forging a fire.
Okay. We feel better. I appreciate you. I had to go ahead and quick relieval and washing of the hands. Got to keep those clean. Let's go ahead and get this going. All right, now. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm about to pull up this next video, right? Let me see something here. Okay, so let me just do this right here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Wait 1 second now. Hold on now. God dang it, Jim. All right, so, I done dropped it. So let's do this. 1 second. I appreciate y'all. Let me see what we got right here. So we're going to go to this next one right here, right? Let's do this. Oh my gosh. Oh, the video's blocked. That just ruined everything. I'm really frustrated about that. Are you serious? I just went to... We're going to go ahead and we're going to rock out with this one right here. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I had something else I had lined up for this when it comes to war. But we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Much respect to you. Respect. So let's go ahead and get the outro going.
Energy is mistaken for frustration, but really I'm a guy who sat back with observation and patience. Some of our thinking is outdated. Thank you for stopping by to say hi. Thank you, come imagine. And while you're gone, tell a friend to tell a friend, Smitty. Yes, we heard you, now go and smash the like button like a burger. Information I recruited, I got grace, my mic is muted. Mr. 7, I'm ghost.
Parasite on 5, the level of the stars. Yes, I'm closer to the sun rotation round Mars. I spit bars on my mind, I travel really far. I took my pain and my struggle, then I wrapped it in a bundle. Even when I stumble, I'll remain humble. Till this world's crumbles, I'll be the rumble in the jungle. It took me many yes, just stages. I flipped the page of my life's novel, chapter 82. This track right here is you. You're a gift and a promise, but if you that new, I grew up very quiet. Me, I stayed the self, then I went away to prison. Now my life up on the shelf, I felt defeated like it's over, but my mind recreated. I contemplated this my statement. I cracked the ground as I walk on the pavement. Left arm hold my legacy. Phoenix rose the ashes of a father, but this life has a channel that can tap into the heavens. Yes, my name is Mr. 7, but you call me the one golden child of the city. Never looking for your pity or the fussing and the fighting. Got us looking really silly. Come get with me on this travel back into the heartlands. I stand 10 toes down because me, I fear no man. Yes, I colder than ice and I smoother than sand. Why you say that makes no sense? I walk the earth and conquer land. My lyrics are atomic and my flow is supersonic. I got a J and some tonic, not a tissue of the chronic. 43rd chapter of my life, I still got it. My flows of the ocean cause I'm surfing to the beat. Yes, it's minute on the corner. You can catch me in the streets. I will give a good word, but do not like to preach. By my head, say a prayer. Thank you for this daily bread. Only get that's dying cause the life must live. This ain't half of what I got. This all can give respect to you. This how we do. I'm Ghost.
I'm a fallen angel from sky. Up above, I'm that man that think is a thug. I'm your drug and your plug. Wings tucked, I seen pain, seen blessings, seen luck. Ran over by train, that's about 8 trucks. Smitty really gritty, but never I'm no slut to the money and fame. You can keep your chain, we free men over here. And in case you didn't know, my favorite color is here. Yes, I'm here, not fresh to death, no stress, no worries. All burdens, I done buried closed coffin. I'm the beauty of the beast, and a man I found often. I'm the cure to infection. My reflection is broken down in sections. Retired chef outside, still cooking. I be rocking with best. Thank you, good looking. Y'all must be lunching on mothers. If you not from my section, then you cool, but not a brother. Lone Star, the astronaut from above. You looking for a fix? I'm your brand new blood. Shotgun slug, flood of the love spreads. Truck by train, made it out by thread. Shoulda be dead, but rose from darkness and walking with an oath. I'm not the goat, I'm shepherd. Blending into the world tree, hiding a leaper. Mr. 7, I'm ghost in flesh.